It was fair to assume the last time Graham would put on this uniform was late November when he got hurt against the Rams. Torn tricep, almost always a season ender. But after talking to former Eagles, Javon Hargrave and Hollis Thomas, who also dealt with the injury, Graham became motivated to try to rewrite the final chapter of his career. Coming out of high school in St. Louis, Tershawn Wharton weighed under 200 pounds, playing D-line. Fast forward to 2020, and Wharton had bulked up to 280 pounds, but still went undrafted. Good news, the Kansas City Chiefs took a flyer on him, and the rest is history. The reason why Ellett is Andy Reid's left-hand man is because at just 4 years old, he fell out of the back of a pickup truck and lost the use of his right arm, which was surgically removed at 16 years old. But despite that, and not having any coaching experience before joining Kansas City 8 years ago, Isaiah Pacheco knows how invaluable he is to the running backs room. It's been 5 weeks since 14 people were murdered in New Orleans, and the wound is still fresh where it happened, right here on Bourbon Street. Obviously, a tragedy like this changes everything when it comes to security at the Super Bowl. Welcome to Sports, I'm Ian Nicholas. So if you're not a fan of the Eagles or the Chiefs, I have good news for you if you were here, but you're not. Sorry, I'm rubbing it in. They're representing all 32 teams. You got Josh Allen, NFL's MVP, and Haley Steinfeld, his girlfriend. I mean, that guy is absolutely living life. And then you also see Drake May, could be a future NFL MVP. But you know what? Let's stop talking about all the teams that are in Philadelphia and Kansas City, because those two won in very different ways on championship weekend. Syracuse football got back to its winning ways against Cal, 33-25. No one needed that more than Orange head coach Fran Brown, who said after the Boston College loss that only winners get washed. Only winners get one of these, this being a bar of soap. Coach Brown is just happy he can get back in the shower. With a 13-point lead and 11 minutes left, Syracuse was cruising towards clinching an ACC tournament berth against Virginia Tech. But then, the Hokies found another gear, forced overtime, and beat the Orange, 101-95. On the road, one thing's for certain. Closing out games, not as easy as riding a bike. 45 points can only mean one thing, Hudson. You don't shoot the ball well under 30% on the game for Syracuse, who was a good offensive team headed into tonight. So where are you on the panic meter?
My panic meter is about right there.
But the big game that everybody is talking about in non-conference play, the ACC-SEC Challenge in early December at Texas A&M. Remember, last year, the first year of the ACC-SEC Challenge, Syracuse took down Alabama at home, really their first signature win of the season. And Alyssa Latham, the freshman, she was a beast in that game. She transferred to Tennessee, though, so I got to fill in her shoes. Wide open.
She is all alone, and that is easy done on the backhand.
Didn't stick the landing, though. Come on, if you're gonna have the smooth score, you gotta have the celly. You gotta veer the corner.
That's why it's 3, not 1, Ian.
Well, here's 2. Well, Chris Bell, whoop, and they're gone. What a lethal pump fake from Chris, who, yes, has had an up and down season, but made a big 3. That's a good celebration. Luckily, he didn't get teed up for that one. He's got a history of that.
That was, not a great time there. It was a monsoon at night. Charlottesville, we love it. Great city, great college town, but the weather didn't hold up for us.
No, but you know what? I got to put on my Al Roker glasses, and I got to tell you just how good the weather was when we were down there just a couple days ago for this lacrosse game. I mean, in Seaville on Saturday, sunny skies. You can see it right behind me. High at 83, just 4 degrees, as I am now joined the fellow Al Roker at the desk. Just 4 degrees off the record high for the city on March 29th ever. I mean, the only thing hotter than the bleachers at Klockner was Syracuse. 4-game win streak headed in, but would it be enough to win their ACC opener against a Virginia team that, yes, is unranked, but it's still Virginia, and it's their Military Appreciation Day, a beautiful sight with a flyover. And let me tell you, this UVA offense was soaring. McCabe Millen makes it 5-1 Hoos with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. It could have been worse if Jimmy McCool didn't make this double save, 2 of his 17 on the afternoon. He was on the ropes, but finally on the other end, his boys support him. Peyton Anderson with a dive towards the crease. Just a 2-goal game as we go into the third quarter where UVA was doing a lot right, scoring goals and winning faceoffs. Andrew Greenspan with a career day for the Hoos at the X, but when the Orange had the ball, it didn't matter. Michael Leo off a skip pass from Hiltz with the lefty ripper, and then I assure you, this is a different clip, but it's the same result. English to Leo again, a third quarter hat trick, and it's tied as we go into the fourth quarter. What a pivotal game for Syracuse. Spallina trying to leave his mark, and he's denied by the eraser. And that's Matthew Nunes, who also showed up in this game. A combined 30-plus saves between these two, and it comes down to the final 2 minutes. We're tied at 10 until bang! Owen Hiltz off the feed from English to give him the lead, and then 40 seconds to go on the ride, the big hit, and the score in front. Hiltz scores the final 2. The Cuse win by 2. Jimmy McCool mobbed for his big performance. Dan Shalom tells us everything that you need to know. McCord and crew go left to right, down 21-0. McCord takes the shotgun snap and hands it off up the right hash marks to LaQuint Allen. Allen, a gain of 2 to the 27, makes it 2nd and 8, just over 2 minutes into the second quarter. Syracuse has faced big deficits before, Andrew. The last time you and I were calling a game for AER, it was Virginia Tech, 21-3 game. In the third quarter, Orange come back and win.
That day they were facing backup Colin Schley, not Heisman candidate Cam Ward.
I made sure to bury that. McCord in the gun, he claps to the ball and gets it. Scanning the left side of the field, he throws to the far sideline, and a back shoulder ball is caught at the 50 by Justice Ross Simmons. Hey, it was that Virginia Tech game where Ross Simmons made his presence felt, and now he picks up 23 yards to the 50. With that pass, McCord over 4,000 passing yards on the year. 1st and 10, takes the snap, quick out route left side caught, and thrown out of bounds is Aronde Gadsden to the Miami 45. It's a gain of 5, and it is 2nd and 5 after Gadsden's second catch of the game. Orange moving quickly, down 21-0 over 3 minutes into the second quarter. Shotgun snap to McCord, off his back foot, he throws far sideline. Caught by Allen, who toe taps to stay in bounds. He picks up a Syracuse first down right around the Miami 35.
Well, the tackle, Akeem Mesidor, had to track him out of the backfield. 280-pounder out of Ottawa, and he just fell over.
McCord takes the snap, play action. RPO pass is caught. Trevor Pena breaks the tackle in between the hashes, and he's finally spun down inside the Miami 10. Syracuse showing signs of life, down 21-0. 4 minutes into the second quarter as Pena rumbles for a gain of 20+. 1st and goal from the 8. McCord takes the snap, backpedaling, throws into the back of the end zone, and he just throws it away with nobody open.
Yeah, he had 2 guys up in his grill immediately, and that's a pretty good decision by Kyle McCord. You think back to that first offensive drive, Ian, how big that penalty was. Illegal formation that erased a touchdown because it felt like the Orange had rhythm and got it going offensively, and it feels like they finally found a groove again here in the second quarter.
Hey, when McCord's been on the field, he's been good. Now 8 of 10 for 110 yards. He's in the gun on 2nd and goal from the 8. Allen to his right, Pena motion left to right into the slot. McCord takes the snap, gives to Allen, who spins through multiple tackles, still standing as he stumbles into the end zone. Touchdown, Syracuse. 21-6, the Canes still lead. LaQuint with the score from 8 yards out, just over 4 minutes into the second quarter.
Well, that's a one-man wrecking ball right there because his offensive line didn't give him much of a hole and, in fact, said, here's 2 linemen, and he bounced off both of them somehow.
On for the extra point, Jackson Kennedy splits the uprights. 15 of 16 on point after attempts this season. It's 21-7. Miami, their lead slashed by a third in 2 minutes, 3 seconds. 7-play, 75-yard touchdown drive. A 26-yard catch and run from Pena to get him to the goal line. Allen finds Pater from 8 yards out.
We'll take a break as Syracuse now has to get a stop against Cam Ward on the defensive side of things. Miami leads by 14, just over 4 minutes into the second quarter. You're listening to Syracuse football on the original home of the Orange, WAER. SMU and Syracuse meet for the first time ever, and the Mustangs win the opening tip. 9-6 overall is SMU in its first season in the conference. Its starting five includes Zanai Jones, TK Pitts, Nia Robertson, Kaja Woods, and Jessica Peterson. And SMU strikes first in the Dome. Kaja Woods making her first start of the season with the first score of the game.
Talk about the scoring of Robertson. That time it was an elite pass down low.
Verjao down low, one of the five in the starting lineup for the Orange. She misses short. The rest of his starting crew includes Sophie Burrows, Georgia Woolley, Dom Camp, and making her first start with Syracuse, Journey Thompson.
She really impressed last time out, over double-digit points. The key with her, though, was making sure that she can keep those fouls down, fouled out against the Seminoles.
Syracuse lost on the road Sunday to Florida State, the team that knocked them out of the ACC tournament a season ago. And at 0-3 in the conference, the Orange's worst start to conference play since 2006, and they were back in the Big East. Near side, it's Z Jones, who flips a pass into the paint for TK Pitts, and she's knocked down and fouled. SMU led by fourth-year head woman Toyelle Wilson. She's won over 50 games, 4 years with the Mustangs. Before she was with SMU, was an assistant coach for a Michigan team that made it to the Sweet 16 in 2021. Jones off the inbound gets it into Robertson, one of the leading scorers in the ACC, and that's why she is an elite shooter, averaging 20.5 a game.
I mean, how about the arc on that shot? Got past Burrows, and then Verjao comes out, who's so tall, but just lifts it over her hands and into the hoop.
Verjao to Woolley, who sinks it from the elbow. She's trying to make history this morning. 14 points away from 1,000 in her Syracuse career. Third year with the team for the senior captain who transferred from Buffalo after year one.
It'll be key to get her going in the mid-range. You don't need her driving on every play.
Robertson drives and is denied by Thompson. Burrows the outlet to Camp, but Woolley with an off-the-ball foul as she knocked TK Pitts over on the move. On one end, great Syracuse defense. Journey Thompson making a strong impression in her first start of the season, but can't do that if you're Woolley, Adam.
Yeah, she almost tried to give a little bit of a screen to Dom Camp, just put her arms out a little bit. That'll get called pretty much every single time, and not a foul that Woolley would like to give up.
Down low to Jessica Peterson. As that's waved off, Peterson turns it over as she traveled. But somebody we'll be talking about all game long, Adam, averaging a double-double on the season.
Yeah, she's a stud, but of course it's a 10:30 a.m. start. I wouldn't be surprised if it takes a little bit of time for the players to really get their feet wet just with this uncharacteristic time.
Woolley missing an open layup. Second chance for Sanaya Wilson. Into the game for the first time for Syracuse, and it's going the other way. Wilson made her first start of the season against Florida State on Sunday, finished with 8 points and 6 rebounds, but when we talked to Coach Jack yesterday, she said that Wilson kind of got caught up in the fact that she was in the starting lineup for the first time in a while.
Yeah, but she's an experienced player. She's in the lineup because of some injuries down low for the Orange, and she definitely gets the job done.
Peterson, she gets the job done too, spinning and scoring for her first bucket of the morning.
You can tell that Jessica Peterson really likes that matchup down low against Journey Thompson. She's definitely got the size advantage.
You mentioned it, Syracuse playing without Kyra Wood for the second straight game after she was concussed late in the Orange's road loss to Georgia Tech a week ago today. Backdoor cut from Camp, and her reverse layup goes. Woolley with the goggles in the great feed.